Okay, so as you can tell, I graphed y equals 3 sine theta by just changing the amplitude of the function and stretching out the points where you had points that had a y value of 1, they had a y value of 3. But now we've got to take into account the fact that the period has changed, right? The period is only pi now. Okay, so we make a full original cycle. The graph is going to start to repeat itself after only pi now. So horizontally, this graph is going to be stretched inward, okay? So we're going to make 2 full cycles in 360 or in 2 pi. We've got to fit 2 of them in there. So it's going to happen twice and more narrow, okay? So it's a little bit hard to see on this graph, but you're going to see in just a second when I connect the dots that this graph is not only stretched vertically, but it's also constricted. It's kind of smushed inward horizontally, all right? So connecting these two. It's tough, again, it's tough to draw these by hand, especially when you're doing it on the board without a very formidable scale. All right, so that's one cycle. Now this happens again until we hit 2 pi. So let's draw another cycle here. Okay, it's good to draw a couple. If you have 0 to 2 pi, it's good to at least draw it all the way through. Though it didn't specify, so that point's going to be up there. Again, just repeats itself. Now we have a point just down there, a little bit over. Keep going up now. Carries back down. And back up to 2 pi. Okay, so this is the graph of 3 sine 2 theta, right? Just to kind of check our work now. The amplitude is 3, right? The distance between the function's axis and the maximum or the minimum point is 3 units. So we got the amplitude down, all right? Amplitude is always written as a positive number, by the way. We're talking about a distance. Okay, so even if you go between the axis and the minimum, it's still measured as 3, all right? 2 represents the number of cycles the graph makes in 2 pi. And we have that, right? 1, 2 cycles in 2 pi. All right? Remember, you can always think of it like that. You don't have to actually find the period, although it is very helpful, I think, for me to do that, to know that 1 cycle is going to happen every pi units instead of every 2 pi units. Okay? Just one more kind of more challenging example. Now they're going to get a little bit more challenging when we involve phase shifts, horizontal translations and vertical translations. All right?